Good evening, everyone, and welcome to today's session. Today we have three items on the agenda. First is Stodo's full VP presentation. So Stodo will be sharing his full VP presentation. Vasu has already shared his screen. And then that will be followed by two alumni founders of Sarthi, one from the VIP program, Homepecked, and one from the Minds Cohort 1 Expressions. They'll be coming and sharing their last 1 year journey in terms of fundraise through Sarthi and through other sources also. And that in the end, we'll have a 15-minute of visualization exercise. So that will be conducted by me. So without any further ado, over to you, Vasu. You can share about your full VP with any changes you made to the problem and customer understanding, and then the balance for your customer. Over to you, Vasu.
Thank you, Girish. Good evening to all. This is Vasu from Stodo team. So the main feedback was given is identify the core need. So the core need what we identified is quality and quick delivery for the consumer for their daily needs, for their healthy life. And to find out who is the primary customer, whether we seller or the customer, or mean the orderer or buyer. So we find the primary customer is seller. The secondary customer is the buyers. Will be in different categories, like working professional, then college students, busy schedule peoples, and other customers. And the problem set, what we have identified is 9 types of problems that we have identified. So the first one is...
I'll stop you here. See, you are saying your primary customer is the seller.
Yes.
But here all the problems are identified from the buyer side, at least the top 5 I can read.
I think without a seller, customer cannot buy it, right?
But see, the needs might be different. Seller might want to sell on MRP, buyer might want to see, there might be conflicting needs at times. So if I'm on one side, I will focus my value proposition on that side more. I'm not saying, see, every has 2 sides, but which side are you leaning more is what you have to think on. You only mentioned that your primary customer is the seller, but your problem understanding is from the buyer side. So that's where there's a gap.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. So the problem is both the spouses are working, so they don't find time for offline shopping, and they will not get the items from their known or customized store, and they will not get the quality or healthy items. And many of the categories are not available in present online shopping, and they are not knowing the exact discounted price. When they're doing offline shopping, each store will give one discounted price, and they're not getting any discount if they will do the offline shopping. And some of the people still they are doing WhatsApp, and they feel that is not convenient. And every time they will shopkeeper will call, this is not there, that is not there. Well, I send through people. Then for delivery partner, they have to find the address. That problem they are facing. Then they have to install many apps for one category, like food. They have to install one app, for grocery one app, then for pet supplies they have to install one apps. And sometimes nowadays they're telling some Zepto and all, they're telling 19 minutes delivery. For that delivery schedule is not there. All they removed it. So our app will have both that instant delivery and the delivery slots, both are there. So these are the primary problems what we identified is first 6 is primary, then secondary, tertiary, then the criticality CSD. We can see this is for first problem is high. We can see the alternate solution is building a strong hyper local app for their online shopping.
No, when we say building alternative solution, this is your Zepto, your Amazon, your Big Basket, all these are alternative solutions. Currently, this problem is being solved by them, you can say, or
not all the, some of the problems they are solving, not all the problems.
So that's what mentioned that here. There's alternate solution, and you can even do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Vasu.
Okay.
Because there are quite a few alternate solutions which is solving properly, which is not solving properly. You'll have to identify, and accordingly, you'll find gap. See if it's a solved problem. You'll have to, as I said last time also, you'll have to give it cheaper or you'll have to give it faster. You'll have to beat 19 minutes or 9 minutes. or you have to give it cheaper.
Even that we are not focusing. Within 30 minutes we are giving. Even they're telling, even Zepto and all, now they're telling within 19 minutes we will deliver.
Yeah.
Only that nearby warehouse they are getting within 19 minutes. So if they are away from 3 kilometer, 4 kilometer, actually they are not getting. They
No,
are getting
see, at least
30 to 40 minutes.
70-80% customer, if they are getting, or they are advertising it. Now Maggie says 2-minute noodles. So Maggie is advertising, we all believe it's 2 minutes noodles. Yeah. Unless there's a
That's
negative, lot of negative. So I'm saying just put
Yeah.
those alternative solutions, and maybe if you find a gap, that this is the gap which needs to be filled. Yeah. Or
Yes,
solve
actually
problem.
we tried how much time is taking.
Okay.
So actually it is taking 20 to 25 minutes once
No,
order
I
comes.
ordered from Swiggy and I got it in 8 minutes. So see, different customers, different experiences. I ordered from Swiggy's this. So it came in 8 minutes. I was also surprised. It came in just 8 minutes from order. So
Yeah,
different customers.
sometimes even if you get within 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
not all the orders. It differs person to person, customer to customer.
True.
That's what we have. That's what we built the model such that within 30 minutes, more than 30 minutes, it will not go, because the distance itself we have within 2.5 kilometers we have covered. After that, they will go for other store.
Okay.
So the location wise we have restricted, and within 30 minutes it will come. We don't want to give the false statement. So that's why we made within 30 minutes you will get the delivery.
Okay.
And another one is as per their preferred delivery slot.
Okay.
So
Fine.
both the things are there.
Fine. Continue.
Yeah. And for not getting the items from their known store. So getting the item from known stores, because the nearby stores, they can get the items through our app, and the quality and the healthy items they will not get, because we have audit and routine inspection to check the stores, whatever they are onboarding on our platform. So we have a guidelines, and so many categories are not available in online shopping. So all shops will be listed for selection and ordering. So all the shops, nearby shops.
All shops, clothes shops, shoe shops.
Not clothes shops.
So
No, not
what
clothes
is the
shops.
category?
We have we have a predefined categories like groceries, household items, sweets, kara.
Sweets will be listed.
Dry fruits, bakery items. Yes, pet supplies. Like that, 8 categories are there. So the shops who are having this kind of 8 categories, they can onboard it.
Fruits and vegetables is there?
No. Initially, fruits and vegetables we don't have.
Oh.
So other eight that's what I told. No, 8 categories is there, including food,
pharma,
household items,
medicine
dry
there?
fruits.
Medicine is there?
Which one?
Medicine.
No, medicine is not there. No. Next phase we are planning to include.
Okay. Fine. Yeah. Continue.
Yeah. Then they're not having the exact discounted price, because if you store A, if they will go offline shopping, one store will provide one discount price. Suppose the MRP will be 100, means one store will give 90 rupees, other store will give 85 rupees. So customer will not be knowing. So for that, in our platform, all the stores will be listed. Customer can check, either they can go by store wise or product wise. So whoever is offering less price, they can order. They can check the price and order. So next is not getting the discounts while doing offline shopping. So providing discounts and bank offers will provide through online shopping, and only selected items they can order the items, and remaining delivery partner we will take care. And they will install more apps for one category. In Stodo platform covers most of the categories, so it will meet their customer needs. And we will provide the quick delivery or the delivery slots. Both will be available. So these are the problem sets and alternate solutions what we have seen.
Let's go ahead. Yeah.
So directly, shall I go to exercise 3?
Yeah, go to exercise 3.
Yeah. So who are you? Customers should know and understand you. So we will provide the reliable service to customers at all time. So what is your story, we can say? Our vision is to provide quality of groceries and healthy food items to consumers at all time. And mission is build the strong hyperlocal quick commerce app and become a market leader in e-commerce field. And the drive is digital convergence, and anytime, anywhere, anyone can do it. So the competence is successful creation of app and web for better user experience. That is the competence we have. The credibility is providing consistent quality and in-time delivery brings customer trust and retention. So why are you in the position to solve the problem better than others? With a strong hyper quality quick commerce platform, we will provide the required items what customer wants it, and they will be delivered fast and they will be fulfilled. What can you do that with others cannot? Listing of multiple categories and products in our platform across many sellers for customer requirement and convenience. Why should they trust you? To fulfill the customer requirements and consistency, providing the quality of products in time. And to identify the critical factors to develop yourself as your right candidate to offer the solution. You can say the having very good market analysis and implementing strong hyper quality quick commerce platform. This brings the best solution to the customer needs. So we can see the solution. So what are a few good solutions to the problem? Providing many categories and products in digital way for customer online shopping, because a lot of shops, they will have a big shops, big all those kind of products, they are all good inventory, but they will not get that much sales most of the times because they prefer for offline shopping. Their products also not in digital way. So those kind of shops we will encourage and we will get it into on board. So what is your offer or product thing, MVP anything stage? We provide good quality, strong built hyperlocal quick commerce platform for benefit of seller and for customer also. By this platform, customer will get maximum benefit to place and get the multiple items even on the go, anytime, anywhere they can order. And for MVP, we can see the minimum viable product is under final testing, and we plan to launch pilot batch by the mid of October. So in Bangalore, we plan to launch in Bangalore location. The experience what we are having is having strong experience in market study and implementing the workflow and process. The efficacy is to meet customer requirements and build the strong hyperlocal quick commerce platform will bring benefit for both customer and sellers. Efficiency is to save money and time and benefited both sellers and customers. The use is customer friendly app. It can be ordered anytime, anywhere, anyone, even on the go. So availability is having little knowledge in operating smartphone is more than enough for availing the web and app usage.
So Vasu, I just stop here. See, I'm again saying you only mentioned you are seeing your primary customer as the seller and secondary customer as the buyer, correct?
Yeah.
But you are building your solution, your product with reverse.
Yeah. That I think, there I have to change. I think primary customer will be a customer, secondary will be seller.
But I'm again prompting you, see, primary customer buyer is highly competitive, hyper competitive, with everyone wanting that same rupee and kind of 9 out of 10 burning money to get that rupee also. But they are spending 1.2 rupees to get 1 rupee of top line. Whereas if you do the reverse, maybe it is less competitive. You'll have to study that. Yeah. Because if you
actually we focus on customer needs for customer
convenience.
The
buyer, okay.
The buyer, the orderer buyer. For them only we are focusing on that. And by the time the seller also, the seller usually that's what I mentioned right earlier. They will have a good inventory, good all kind of products, but they will not get good sales because of depending on only offline shopping. For that shops, we will encourage and we will get it into onboard, and their products are converted to digital way, and we will process with the online ordering. So their problem also is solving.
See, it will be similar. It's like win-win in some cases, win-lose in some cases. See, when you are buyer focused, you want to give the cheapest product, best quality product. Yeah. When you are seller focused, you maybe want to sell on MRP. So that there'll be that win-win or win-lose at times. You have to choose and accordingly build your solution to that priority. Who's my primary customer? And if you have the answer, very good. Otherwise, go and meet people. Which problem is still partly solved? Which problem is solved? So speak to 100 customers, 10 sellers, and see where that problem is unsolved.
Yeah. We have a study with the sellers actually. 60 plus sellers.
So this presentation is confusing. You're saying seller, but all your offer and product is for the buyer. So it's confusing to me. Go ahead.
Yeah. Then the emotional is customers will refer the services to others by giving and selling the consistent work.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is visible, right?
Yeah, it is visible. Hello, Vasu, you're there?
Yes.
Yeah, so you're on the emotional convenience slide. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Slide
So
16.
next, can
Yeah.
it give rise to other problems? No other problems. The cost to customer is existing players have limited categories and products and delivering by providing multiple categories and products from nearby stores with fast delivery in competitive price. Customer will get more benefit. The benchmark with alternatives competition substitutes is, so we can see the competitors Dunzo, Zepto, Blinkit. So we can see the Dunzo and all not having the onboard with many shops and categories, and now focusing on own warehouse items supplied to customers. Earlier they start with this kind of local shops, then they establish their own shops, and that only they are focusing. And in an area around 200 shops is there, means around 30 to 40 shops only they have tie-ups till now, but most of the orders it is going to their owners, their warehouse items only.
Agreed.
Then Zepto they're having their own dark store and the limited products are available for their ordering. And Blinkit, they're also again the same own warehouse they're having, and the limited products are available for the supply.
Fine, continue.
Yeah, next part is validation. The
Your
assumptions
slide is
what we
stuck
have
on
taken
16. We are able to see slide 16 only.
16
Hmm.
struck
Not
up.
there.
It's not going forward. Last slide.
No, it's not going forward.
Maybe you can stop and then share it again. Probably it might work.
Yeah, I'll do. Now visible.
Slide
Now
17.
17.
Yeah, it's visible.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what I explained actually. This slide was not visible. Okay,
Okay,
once
go
again I
ahead.
will do.
No, it's
Yeah.
fine. Go ahead. We understood till now.
Yeah.
You can go to slide 18, the validation part.
Yeah, the validation part. The assumptions what we have taken is most of the stores will be onboarded and most of the delivery boys will be onboarding. This is the assumption what we have. And the benchmarking what we have taken is the Dunzo. Again, the same thing, not having onboard with many shops and categories, and they're focusing on one warehouse. And the Zepto is having one dark store, and the Blinkit is one warehouse. The market validation is, say, inquire about 60 shops in and around the CV Ramanagar in Bangalore, and 40 plus shops they are actually showing interest. Sir, once you will be in live, we will be coming to your onboard. Because they so far some of the out of that 40 shops, some of the shops already they have registered in Dunzo, but Dunzo is not coming back. Even repeated follow up, they are not coming back. So those shops they are telling this is actually need of the market. It is required. We will be onboarded once it is live. They're telling, and many shops wants to be onboard with less commission. And this Dunzo and food items and all, they are charging heavily. If you say 20 to 30%, they are charging. It's a heavily they are charging. So they are interested to do it in 5 to 10%. They will be more comfortable. So that range only we are expecting.
Okay, go ahead.
And the next validation is POC design. So what do you wish to achieve through strong hyper-local quick commerce platform able to achieve by providing quality and healthy products to customers with quick delivery. The assumptions do you want to test is onboarding of stores and delivery partners. This want to test it. And what are the outcomes do you want to prove? More customers and seller increasing day by day for using the web and apps and ensuring and maintaining customer repeating and retention.
Vasudevan, this is Chetan.
Yes.
Just one
Yes.
question. Just go back to the last sheet. Just go.
This one. Yes.
How are we, or how is Stodo confirming or making a statement that we provide quality and healthy products? A reason why I'm asking you this is that the customer orders and the seller delivers, or seller delivers, right? Or seller picks it up.
Yes.
What is our role in the quality and healthy products?
Yes. This one, those shops first, whoever interested, they will register in our app by downloading that. Once it is registered, our backend team will check their store. They will validate. They will check the stores,
What will you check,
how
Stodo?
their hygienist. We have a quality checkpoints guidelines. What are the parameters to be checked for whatever the categories they are having? Like food means what are the points to be checked? Like grocery means how they are keeping, like expiry date, how they
You're
are
talking
maintaining.
about pest control. I mean, things like pest or the way they store.
Yes, all kind of thing, whether rats, anything, all kind of around 25 points we made it. That
Okay.
points all it will satisfy or not. We will check it. So
Okay.
we have an
And-
inspection team.
Okay.
So they once they will confirm it, then it will be onboarded. It will be come to the live in our platform,
So
and we will have a routine inspection also.
Okay. So generally all your products will be packaged products, right? Or are you planning to sell loose product also?
Loose products also. These provisional stores, they are providing loose products also.
Okay. So you are willing to I mean, deliver loose products in a paper
Yes.
bag or something like that.
Yes. It will be packed, loose products, it will be packed and give it to customer.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So this is another one validation. What uncharted areas you wish to explore discoveries. Next, we try to do the medicine field, and what futures benefits should be available in the POC. The main benefit to get more orders for sellers and ease of ordering and getting the items for customers. How will you utilize this POC for next steps? By adding step-by-step features in web, this POC will be addressed. So when it comes to the next value proposition statement, what is there? Consolidated value proposition. Providing strong built user-friendly hyperlocal quick commerce platform for better user convenience and providing multiple categories and products for ease of ordering and quick delivered to your doorstep. Compare and buy with competitive price. Then how does your offer help your customers achieve their goals more effectively? Transparent and effective pricing will help customers to save money. The ideally simple statement with one or two sentences: buy daily needs with the local stores in quick delivery. Thank you.
Yeah, on time.
Yeah.
Good, Vasu, on time. Yeah, open for questions or comments.
Yes.
My biggest question, I think, Girish, is what you, I mean, again, Vasu is what Girish asked in the beginning, that you have to be, you are, again, is this addressing the buyer or the seller? And somewhere you, again, you got to make up that mind, because the statement is, I mean, your statements are confusing, because somewhere it's buyer, somewhere it's seller. Generally, it tends to be the buyer. Okay, so that's one part. The second part in this whole conversation is that you are aware of the FSSAI, right?
Yes. So food license.
Yes. And now, if you are delivering open food product, okay, in a packages, etc., explore if you require a license for it, and what does that entail. I'm not a specialist, but I do know that there are guidance on that.
Yes.
It's not easy for you to today get into the organized trade. Can't do it. I mean, if a customer goes to a shop and buys loose oil in a bottle and brings it home, I think FSSAI is less concerned. But if you were to say, I will put it in a bottle and bring it to you unpacked, got it? That's the difference I'm saying. So check that out, because that's generally something that you should be aware of, right?
Yes. Actually, this we have inquired. Actually, we are doing e-commerce operator. Okay, the seller who is doing, right, they should have compulsorily that FSSAI certification. That we are ensuring in our checklist, and even in our platform, we will have that option. It's a mandatory option that whoever providing food related items.
Unfortunately, you have not checked, or you have not told your lawyer that I'm going to pick unpackaged goods. If you're selling packaged goods, you are right. You said I'll do unpackaged good, no?
Not is a loose items. Loose items again
Is
shop
a
only
package.
will.
In every package in India for food
Yeah.
items, there is an FSSAI.
Correct.
If it is unpackaged, then what is it?
No, unpackaged means we will provide the loose items. Like provisional stores, if they are doing right. If I want to buy rice 1 kg, so provisional items, what they will do, they will pack it and give it. So those kind of pack it and give it, they will do. Seller will do it, pack it. Our delivery partner will go and pick up and deliver.
Yeah, but that will not have FSSAI approval. No shopkeepers today have FSSAI for that.
Yeah,
They work
for
on
those
the
things
basis that.
not having.
So
Yes,
that is
yes,
what I'm
yes.
saying. Tomorrow, again, if you are in one locality, no problem. But if you become a citywide and then you get entangled in that, then you will find yourself, like Maggie.
Yeah.
So just
Yeah.
check it out. I mean, just ask all the
Okay.
questions and be 100% sure that either you are within
Yes.
law or you are outside law. That's all that I'm saying.
Yes. This we will take a call.
And there is also the Package and Commodities Act, and I'm not getting into it, but somewhere along the way, think that through too.
Okay.
Or rather, Weights and Measures Act. But okay, I'll again.
Okay.
Any more comments, questions? I'm just putting the form again. Just put your feedback there. We already got our guest founders in Parag and Inder, but waiting for this to conclude. Yeah, any more comments or questions? Happy to take it. Anyone? No? Fine. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Vasu. You can stop sharing. Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you.
So I'm just sharing the form. Just share your feedback on the form. So yeah, happy to invite Parag and Samrat from Homepecked, and Inder. I just saw him. Where's he? Okay, I think he's joining back. So thanks Parag for joining this, and thanks Samrat. Really nice.
Thanks, Girish. It's a pleasure.
Okay. So
Thanks,
we have
Girish.
8 startups of cohort 5 of the Sarthi Minds program, the program which makes startups fundable. And they're different stage of their journey from MVP to early traction. So we've got different startups from SaaS to food tech to e-com. You just now heard a e-com startup to Edtech. I think it's like different startups. One is a platform, startup platform also is there. So basically, we have this interaction in the middle of the cohort to kind of understand their journeys, their learnings in building a sustainable enterprise, which has raised funds. So these are the 2 goals, of course, which these startups have. And they're early in that curve, if I plot it. They're early in their journey of building a sustainable enterprise and which has raised funds. So 15 minutes for you, Parag and Samrat. You can share your journey, followed by Inder. Yeah, hi, Inder.
Hi, Girish. Hi.
Yeah, so we'll have Homepecked first in that, and then we'll have expressions. Yeah, Homepecked is from the VIP program, but we just use the same frameworks, do assessment, and then take them to investors.
Lovely.
Inder is from the Minds program, where he was part of the cohort 1 of Sarthi Minds. So yeah, over to you, Parag and Samrat. Love to hear your journey of building a sustainable enterprise and raising funds. Over to you.
You want us to focus on the fundraising bit, or
both sides, building a sustainable enterprise and funding, both sides, the ups and downs. We also know it's like we showed them, it's so many ups and in 10 minutes, and followed by an informal discussion also with the founders.
Yeah, Samrat, you would like to go first?
Yeah. So briefly about Homepecked. So Homepecked is a confluence of a B2B marketplace, fintech, as well as technology, right? Technology which is used by the construction sector. So primarily, Homepecked caters to the construction industry, and we started this journey in 2016. I mean, 2016 end is when we formed the company. 2017 and 18, we really used the time to do deep dive into the market, met various market participants, and because we strongly felt that a lot of startups tend to first build the product and then basically find the market. We wanted to do the other way around. So and then from middle of 2018 is when we started building the, actually early 2018 is when we started building the product, and we went live in 2019. Of course, we were sort of held back by the pandemic, which of course the whole world was. And today we are at a position where we have a sustainable revenue number every month, and we are about to. I mean, we've almost raised our first institutional round. We are just about there. So that's pretty much in summary. We are 3 co-founders. Of course, the third co-founder couldn't join us on the call today. And Parag will take you through the journey in slightly more detail about our funding journey, which was quite interesting. And I think will be great learning for all the other founders on this particular call. Parag?
Yeah. So a couple of key learnings for us is when we were doing our research initially, we realized that in a e-commerce product or a marketplace product, a lot of the new startups took the decision to build the product grounds up. And that means a lot of investment. And when we track the journey of about 8-10 companies which followed the model, eventually they all became unicorns. We realized that their early product did not last more than 18 to 24 months in the market, primarily because when you start a new journey and start building up a product, there are a whole lot of assumptions which are built into the process flow. Eventually, what happens when you launch the product in the market and what you start experiencing, what you get as a feedback from the customers, both in terms of usage of the product as well as the features supplied with the product, there is a lot of gaps between what you had assumed and what eventually happens. So be it Flipkart, be it Off Business, be it the other companies which we tracked, almost all of them had to let go of their initial product within a year and a half and start rebuilding it, because the whole product underwent so much of a change that they couldn't function anymore in the old process flow. So one of the key learnings which we took out of that was not to invest heavily into the first product, because in a situation today where basic structure of an e-commerce platform is available off the shelf. So we went actually in that route, that we licensed products from the open market. That did 2 things for us. A, the cost was literally 1/5 of what you would have deployed if you had to develop the product rounds up. So that's a lot of cost savings. And B, time to market is much faster. If you're buying a product off the shelf, it possibly would take you anything between 3 to 4 months to go live. So those are the advantages of looking at products. If you're planning to build a product, that whatever is available off the shelf, try and make do with. And what we did was, some of the features which we wanted to build, of course, were not available off the shelf. So we took the basic version of the e-commerce platform, and then we started building some of the features which we wanted to go live with ourselves. So that so it was like a base platform, and on top of that, it's like an OTT kind of a thing. You layer it with your own solutions above that. So that gives you a lot of cost savings. And in the initial stages, it is always better and prudent to save costs. And B, your time to market is much faster. As I said, we saved we ended up spending about 1/5 of what we would have otherwise spent. So that's one critical learning for us in terms of product development, that after your first 18 months to 24 months, you will get a much better understanding of what not to build, and hence your second attempt at making the product is much better, and you will end up making a product which will last you possibly 5, 7, 8 years. That's one learning in terms of developing a product. B, all entrepreneurs, we have a tendency to strongly get associated with our ideas. So at some stage, it is important for an entrepreneur that if a particular idea is not working, how to step back and pivot from there on. Our ability to acknowledge that there has come a stage where the original idea is not working, and hence we need to pivot, and that's one part of it. But how to pivot and what to pivot is also very critical. For example, in our own journey, we had thought that we will do an aggregation model where we will aggregate demand on the demand side. And because of the aggregated volume, we will get a lot of price discoveries in the construction tech marketplace. And hence customers would be interested. While they were interested, we were getting orders. We realized during our journey that in the construction industry, credit is a big problem. And no matter how much discount you can give, ultimately it's a cash flow challenge in the business. So you have to solve that cash flow problem. So we had to pivot. I think within 1.5 years, we realized that the market is not so much price discovery side, but it's more on the credit discovery side. So we had to pivot, and we had to go back to our drawing board and recreate everything and redo and go for the launch, which is very credit heavy. So that ability to withdraw yourself from your original idea and look at critically that what needs to be changed and how you can make the changes is a critical piece. Third, in terms of funding, we all tend to do a basket shopping in terms of which investors to approach. While it is not bad by itself, because you are in the early stage, you should try and knock as many doors as possible. But we feel that it is important for founders to realize and understand which are the best fit fund houses or VCs or angel networks which match with your DNA. It is very, very important to match. Many investors would say that we are sector agnostic and we don't bother about which industry you are operating in. In truth, what we have realized that every investor has a preference for certain sectors, for certain segments. Some investors, though they say agnostic, they're very averse to B2B funding, primarily because very little intelligence is available on how this B2B piece works. So you need to do a lot of due diligence in terms of identifying which are the investors or fund houses or angel networks you should go to, by doing a lot of research, talking to a lot of other people who have got investment from them to find out what is their DNA and what kind of industry they are going to back historically, because you will spend a lot of time in making those pitches. And if your strike rate is like 1:20, you're going to end up a lot of time wasting. So it's better that you pitch 5, 6, but try and get a better strike rate rather than going and doing a window shopping and pitching everywhere. So that's one lesson which we have learned. Second is that, and this is by no means a critical view, but this is our experience, that most investors have created fences before you can reach the key decision makers. We are a little unique because Samrat, me and my other co-founder, we are all experienced hands. Each one of us have more than 2.5 decades of corporate experience. So we do bring in a lot of understanding of how industry works, how to run a balance sheet. We have done revenue management, P&L management. So when we started interacting, we have realized that most of the first gatekeepers in these investment houses are young kids passed out of college, they're very good analytical, they have very good analytical skills, but they have very little business understanding as to how a business runs, why a particular business has to run in a certain logic. I have found in my own experience that it is better to be a little more curative in this process, so that you know who you are talking to and how to get past the initial gatekeeping fences, because it is important that you are talking to investors, they understand where you are coming from, because, and these are basically learnings out of experiences, when you know that certain questions which should be asked, let's say in Series B or Series C, when those questions are put forth to you when you are raising your pre-Series A or seed capital, then you know that those fund houses are not for you, or the gatekeepers are not people who have enough experience in the industry to understand how a business works and what logic it works. There is a great depth of lack of talent in the investor side as well. While we as entrepreneurs, we keep getting told that you need to get talent to run your business, but the truth is also true on the other side of the table. The people who are running fund houses and trying to do investment, they also lack enough talent on their side of the desk to understand how to filter ideas and how to identify which ideas to take it forward. So you end up losing a lot of time. So my advice is that as entrepreneurs, we can't change the other side of the ecosystem, but we can always be more prudent in terms of approaching and understanding whether these questions are leading to somewhere, whether it's better to cut off at certain stage and move on. The third is that depending on the sector you are in, if your idea, let's say, is within e-commerce, fintech, and a couple of other sectors, you will possibly not face this problem. But if your idea is a little offbeat and you are operating, especially in the B2B segment, there are major challenges in terms of raising capital. Very few fund houses are there who understand which is the B2B space. For example, the metrics which you are told to share. I'll give a very small example in our own business. We are in the construction business, which is credit-led. Now, if you give a customer a credit, the customer is taking a credit on a 45 days or a 60 days repayment cycle. So logically, what will happen is your metrics should be tracked once in 2 months. But any investor you go, they will insist that you give an MRR, monthly, recurring revenue, which is impossible in certain B2B businesses because it just doesn't gel. When you have a 2 months repayment cycle, you can't give an MRR. So there are the basic things which one needs to understand, that which are your critical matrices you want to track and trace, and learn how to insist on those matrices to track your performance analytics. It was a hard way we learned, but I think it is good to share these experiences, that how as entrepreneurs you can be a little hard-nosed, yet very polite and firm, because the best way to track your performance and the industry you are operating in. There is nobody else who's better than you, but you have to have the belief and the understanding that how you're tracking is the right way to do tracking. And the last piece is in terms of the funding journey is, as entrepreneurs, we tend to get very valuation focused. I don't think that's a good thing in the long run. Valuation will happen. It's like if you get your business principles correct, your valuation will happen at some point in time. Even if you have to lose certain valuation metrics at certain point in time, it's better to do that. We tend to get hooked onto this valuation that, oh, have I grown 3x from my angel to seed round and another 3x? In my experience, it's a wrong path to go about it. Be a little patient. Generally, investors will always push you to be quick, giving them quick returns. But I always feel that it's always better to be patient and be ready for the long run rather than for the short haul. I think that's about it. That's what I want to share from my experience.
Yeah, wonderful pearls of wisdom, Parag, and the experience shows in terms of reaching out. I just give one data point. Homepecked was one of the highest fundraisers through Sarthi Angels in 2 rounds. So we were also quite happy with the kind of response from our angels. And it's also got HDFC Securities as one of its investors. The term sheet is signed. 2 data points. Yeah. Open for questions.
Which one? Sorry.
HDFC Securities.
Okay, lovely.
HDFC Capital. Sorry, HDFC Capital.
Okay.
So open for questions. Even in that, you can ask questions. Open for questions.
I'm there.
Okay, fine.
To take this thing, and because yes, in part there are a lot of points which what Parag has said which resonate with me. So
Great, great. Yeah, any questions? Anyone? Aditya, Sham, Manjeet? Anyone?
Yeah, sir, I want to ask, suppose that we are not able to connect with some important key people of the investment team. So can I go to their office and directly like fix the appointment so that I can meet the key people of that organization?
Unlikely you will be making any headway, Manjeet. It's difficult to do that. But what we do is whenever, the way we go about is that we try and make a list of investors which we would like to reach out to and use a network, right, to reach out to somebody. Say what happens in this in industry, if you really do reach out to your network, some of the other person would know one or the other person in that investment company or group. And that's the better way to reach out rather than doing cold calls.
Okay, thank you.
No more questions? Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Parag. Thanks, Samrat. Really nice of you to come at a short note. You can sit for Inder's session.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then you can quit.
Yeah, we'll hear in that story.
Yeah. So I'll introduce Expressions, the cohort 1 startup. Again, they've raised funding through Sarthi Angels and through Vami Capital, and maybe soon through 1 or 2 more also. So yeah, Inder, over to you and your journey of building a sustainable enterprise and raising funds.
great. So thank you, Girish, and thank you, the Sarthi cohort. My name is Inderjit Maitra. Like Parag said that yes, maybe we are representing, I do not know, not the usual startup cohort, a lot of gray hairs, which has its pluses and which obviously has its negatives. So by profession, I'm a banker, 3 decades of experience in banking. And in 2019, I decided that I need to do something in education and something on employability. That led me to my to my college batchmate 3.5 decades back. And we started this company because my colleague was already into the world of teaching. He's an academician for the last 3 decades. And he was already doing this language training, English language training. So I have a special affinity. I got a special affinity towards language as a business, as a language for business, not as a business, but language for business, and English as a second language, because I stayed in France for a few years and it taught me what it is to be deaf and dumb. So without the language, how your entire, the ecosystem, what makes you and what differentiates you goes away. I have seen it firsthand. So our company, Expressions Learning Resources Private Limited, started in 2019. And we've now done 3 years. So the good part is the statistics say that in 3 years, 92% of the companies, of the startups wind off. And in the first year, the infant mortality is as high as 70% or something like that. So we are in that 8% quartile. But now the game becomes difficult. In the 4th year, if you sink with some people's money along with it. If you survive 4th and 5th year, then you're on the last 1%. And if that one was 100, only 7 of them really make a sustainable business. So congratulations to this brave world. Had I read these statistics, had I known these statistics, I would perhaps never ventured in. But that is serendipity, so we are there. And you guys are there. It's better, that you should know the mortality rates. Now, unlike Parag, I cannot say that we have already built a sustainable business. Our MRR is not where we would have liked to be because education is a slow business. But we did a few things right. When just a few months into our business, COVID struck and the entire world went into mobile e-learning. So 2 things I did there, which The jury could still be out whether it was right or wrong. One was definitely right. I told my partner that look at the people whom we want to go to vernacular cities, tier 2, tier 3 cities, teach them English as a business language for business, teach them basic soft skill, teach them how to make a CV to land up in a job. If these people could leverage the power of the internet, could go through a mobile app and learn themselves, boss, they wouldn't be here. Because if you see the migration of the students, anybody in Indore is not out of Indore, 70% people. Anybody in Mumbai, people studying in Mumbai, it's the biggest city, only 40% are natives. Rest 60% are coming from outside. So these people are not going to learn on the mobile app. So we will need to go on a hybrid system. So that was a perfect right call. The not so right call, perhaps, but I am comfortable with that, was that I am sort of playing my second innings, a very robust second innings. So I did not want to take anybody else's money. So my partner in the business, who's the CEO of the company, and me and my spouse, we sunk in the money. We say we are not going to touch anybody's money till the time we are more than 50% confident that we are going to do our business. It was only when, despite not having revenues, when we did the small cohorts, when we went to students and we found, but we did some statistics and we found that 90% of our students stay for the full 60 hours of the program and they actually learn. While the statistics is 6% on education apps. Paid, I'm talking of paid, I'm not talking of free. So then we knew we are doing something right, but it is a slightly slower haul. So after that, and here comes the funding part, and I'll connect it with Sathit later. So somewhere in early 21, when I was reasonably convinced that, okay, nothing in life is, in my opinion, 100%, but you got a 40-50% chance of success. Then I reached out to my friends. I haven't taken money from family. Reached out to my friends. And who are the friends? Bosses of bosses, people who are big in their own field and who have seen me perform. So in a way, that is also, I would say, a back end of, did they really respect me when I was in the corporate game? Was it okay? Were they willing to put money? The first level of money came from there, which could sustain us through the COVID period. And then a thing happened. Whenever I would make my pitch, which was really very bad, and I would go and talk to people, they would say, we know you, we know your wife, we know, some of them would know Suman. So we may give you some money, but boss, this just doesn't look like a startup. Yeah? You do not have any of the basics. Because I was making a project report. I come from banking, 3 decades of banking. So what is the risk component? What is that? That was a very good project report, but it was a project report. The startup, this thing, which is 3 things, what differentiates you? And this, please, if you might like, because I'm still struggling with it. What is your differentiator? Can you say it in 20 seconds? I'm still trying to get there, or maybe 30 seconds. How are you going to scale? I am going to scale like this. For example, how are you going to dominate? The most difficult part. And like what Parag said, people who are willing to put 5 lakhs will also become a Warren Buffett and ask you that. Sometimes you might say, okay, boss, you're a very small guy. Maybe 2 years down the line, I myself will buy you out, or a bigger guy will buy you out. Sometimes you might like to cock it. You might have to cock it and give some cock and bull story. But these 3 things is something which an investor, small, medium, big, will ask you. And if they don't get the cent, because of my gray hairs, nobody has really poo-pooed me, but I could see where it's tailing off. It's not going to happen. So we were struggling with that, saying you're not a startup by any yardstick, and you will be successful because you all got enough experience, you have got some capital backing. We want to be a startup, you need to play the technology game, and you need to go do in Rome what the Romans do. That is why I was desperately looking around as to, and between this time, despite all my years of experience, I got, some sharks got hold of me and took me out of my little bit of my hard-earned money. They painted the picture, we will do this, we will do that, we will make a, you know, we will get you there. Lot of sharks out there in the market, especially a lot of con men in the IT world, and lot of people who will proclaim to you, if you go in the internet, you will find the biggest VC thing in the cohort in the world, one of the biggest scamsters. Okay, so be careful. I have gone through it, I've sunk my money. Then by a stroke of good luck, I met Adil, who's from the Sarthi cohort, and he said, Inder, you should apply to these people. Chances are you will not get in, but hey, why don't you apply? I applied to Sarthi cohort, and I immediately liked the sort of people who were there, because there's a technologist, there is a social media person, there are people from the banking world. Girish himself gets his calmness, and he can be very to the point without rubbing you the wrong way. So I instinctively liked them, and then started up pitching with them. And I really understood how many things we were not doing right. So they got us a pitch correct. And obviously they gave us a lot of insights into the business. But honestly, my opinion, and I could be wrong, and please, Girish, don't be mad. The business side, you are, I think, on your own. You can get only that much of, advice. If you don't know your business, I do not know whether any cohort can really get you into the business. They can get you the technology piece, the IT piece, perhaps, and that also is a big perhaps. So the business side you should know like the back of your hand. Then things like how to scale up, how to present, how to represent, that is something which cohorts like Sarthi or Sarthi people, they have at least taught me well. Good luck to you. I hope they will teach you all better, because now they're much more better in their experience. So our process started with them. They made us do a value proposition. They made us do quite a few things. And then I made my first pitch, to a genuine first pitch to a outsider to get money. It didn't happen, but it ended with a very pleasant note. And that gave me a lot of confidence. Post that, the Sarthi cohort came in, we got a first level of money. And then I approached Vami Capital. And here again, I'll be honest, it was not a cold call. We knew them, but it's just that we knew them. So when we went to them, because I had a decent pitch, and I had, it always helps if somebody says, hey, we're picking the money. It helps to say A and B. Both A and B could be in the process of, evaluating. But if you say, no, you are the first Murga, chances are it becomes a little difficult. So thankfully, Sarthi was able to get this done for me, because I had this cohort money already. I had some friends who had put in, and big names in the BFSI world. So that worked. And small tidbits of things which they gave as to where does valuation come from. Valuation, fine, you can do DCF and all, but it is a good Excel spreadsheet. So wonderful advice came from, I do not know, Sanjay is there. Sanjay Shukla says, don't spend 5 minutes on valuation. Just have the confidence that you are going to get a decent name in 1 year, in a period of 1 year, and just tell your first level of Sarthi investors that whatever valuation I get in, I'll give you a 20% discount, because they are taking an upfront risk on them. This is called CCPS. I'm sure you guys know it in and out. That worked for me. So this is where we have raised modest amount of equity, and now we need a little bit more just to close this first round. The second round that will happen hopefully in the next financial year, that's a big round. So I'm priming myself and the investors for it. The other part, which one of you had asked this question, that whom to go, where to go. Again, Sarthi will help you, but you need to do your research. There is no sense of going to a fund which is closed, which is so big that they are not going to touch you, or you are not in their preferential list. I also do not have that much knowledge. These people have more knowledge. Talk to them, but start your LinkedIn activity. Get to know of at least 20, 30, 40 investors. Just to give you an example, There's a fantastic, I do not know how good or this thing, but he writes very well, called Pushkar Singh. He's on LinkedIn. He writes superbly. Just follow his this thing. I mean, he writes well, to the point, and there are lots of tidbits of information. So I have approached him. He says, I never become the lead investor. I always come in as a co-investor, and I go in only when the MRR is 15 lakhs. So I'm tracking him. I said, okay, I have reached X, I have reached Y. I'm keeping him warm because he seems to be a this thing. The other is the FAD network. Now that guy is just 7 years old, but you look at his number of this thing. I'm keeping him warm. I know at this point of time, I don't need him. I don't need that sort of network. I don't need that sort of money. So one thing is there for the now and the ready and now. You are in the Sathi network. I'm sure they will get you there. Your business has to speak for itself. They will get you there. But for the next bigger thing and to reduce the cost, it's very costly. Picking up equity is very costly. It doesn't come at this thing. So if you make your own network, chances are things will be better for you. Because when you need them, supposing you need money today, just add easily 6 more months to it. If something happens less than that time, great, you're awesome. But don't count on being awesome. So if you need money in December, the way, if you're working A, B, C, D now, just imagine you're going to get the money in June. If it comes before June, great. I'm telling you, there's a gentleman who's putting in some amount of money in expressions. It was decided in May of 2022 that, okay, this much, I just want to test you out. The concept looks good. I'm not convinced how scalable you are, but the concept is damn good. And yes, I'm from a small town, so I'll put the money. And today also I'm struggling with the legal guys, as if I'm making some massive agreement, but struggling one thing after the other. Everything has been signed, everything has been taken. The money will hopefully come in early next week, because finally the last bit, unless his lawyer again says something. Now these are big boys. They like you, they will put money into it, but they are not going to side with you vis-a-vis their lawyer. Every big boy will have his in-house legal counsel. That is one small hurdle, and there I don't think any cohort will be able to help. Grit, your people, how much flexibility you have. These are some small things in the game. Parag has very well explained to you on the dynamics. I'm just coming on the bigger point. You know your business well. The dynamics of each business is different, but barring unforeseen circumstances, all the investor, small, medium, big, is going to ask you 3 questions: how differentiated you are, how scalable you are, and will you dominate? And chances are that will decide the big guys coming in. Even if it's an angel fund, like Girish has kindly put me on to Mumbai Angels. The question came. So they have now agreed that I am differentiated, I am scalable. But whether I will dominate, I couldn't answer, because I asked them, what does domination mean in this pop and mom shop business? आप बता दो, हम बता देंगे statistics आपको. I will tell you. So then there was a lot of hum and haw, and so we have agreed to have a discussion on this thing. But at least I have crossed 2 hurdles, that my business is differentiated and my business, the way I'm doing, is scalable. Whether I can dominate or not, I also don't know. How can I explain? But the answer needs to be there at some point of time. So this is my 2-bit. Hope you have found it useful. In case there are questions, happy to answer.
Yeah, wonderful, Inder, but you spoke from the heart and I liked it.
Yeah, I mean, that's only way,
Yeah. Anyone open for questions?
Right. So this is Aditya from Steamified. I do have questions for both the entrepreneurs who spoke now, Inderjeet ji and Parag ji. So first thing is regarding, okay, so now we read all these papers, news, a few startups even raise money even before incorporation. Some people, they're very good at that game. There's this fundraising game itself is a factor for few of the startups. There are my friends who do that as well. Yeah, I have had conversations. But yeah, I mean, looking at the other side of it, where you build a sustainable business, you build certain metrics, you build certain certain foundation, and then yes, go and then look for investors who are looking for these metrics, and then yes, get the fund. There are two paths that you see. So any comments on how, and how they are able to kind of be really good at that fundraising?
Aditya, if I may paraphrase your question, I was saying, how is it that some smart ones, even before they have anything on board, are committed millions? And how are some of, maybe I'll talk only of myself, grinding your way for 3.5 years and then raising a puny amount of money? Is that the question?
I mean, yes, how is the big question?
Okay.
How is the big question? Yeah.
So one, I wish I knew. I'm in that materially the same boat like yours. But I have also gone through some of the things that sometimes what happens is, I'll give you an example of my business. I teach English, okay, and it is a formula-based English. English as a second language, blah blah blah. So I was talking to one of the persons, and he says, "Boss, you know what? Can you do something which says that through virtual reality, the teacher will come in the guy's drawing room and teach to this person? Because the formula and all what you have done is fabulous, yaar. ये तो बहुत अच्छा है, but at the end of the day, you still have an app in which as a teacher standing and वो video है आपका." So I got shaken. I said, "यार, virtual reality में one तो I'm not a technologist, I don't know. और अगर सोचो मैं कर भी लेता हूँ, वो होलोग्राम से वो टीचर आके बैठती है और वो पढ़ाती है उसको, what would be the costs here?" So this guy said, and he is from Sequoia Capital. He says, "Boss, if we get something on the technology side, which is workable but costs $10,000 today, we will fund it because we know sure as another Sunday, this will become $5 in a 3-year time period." Point I'm trying to say, that this millions of dollars, either you have to be genuinely a pathbreaker. I know it sounds cliche, but that's why I tried to give an example from my business, which is the most paid business teaching English. And two, are you a technologist? Can you play a technology game? I don't really see much any other thing in that, because two things happen. One, technology people can think about and say, okay, this can be a game changer. And two, everybody is blind. Parag's business people can see, ghar ban raha hai. My business people can see, can the fellow speak or not, can they write or not. अब technology में हम बोल देंगे कि ये हो जाएगा, can you see, can I see, I don't know. So part of it is, the last part is cynical, the first part is really, is there something mind-blowing, can you put it across, and then you will get millions. Look at the apna.com guy. There's naukri.com, which is there, the biggest table, but look at apna.com. I'm still trying to discover what they have done different, but they have become a unicorn within a 2-year time frame. So surely they have done something, because the people who give those potloads of money are no fools. So there is something I wish I knew, I don't know. But there's a convoluted answer I could, where maybe Parag has something better.
You're mute, Parag. Yeah, you're mute.
Yeah, sorry. So just a few insights, and just to add to what Indrajit has said, if you actually track the unicorns which have become unicorn in the last 2 years, 28 of them, and see their revenue to valuation ratio, right? You will see some obscene numbers, right? I'm not going to name the companies. There is one company whose revenue is 18 crores, and it's an unicorn. Right? We are all people who have spent 2-3 decades in businesses, right? When you have 18 crores of business, how the hell do you get valued at 7,500 crores? There is no logical explanation to this, right? So that brings back to my fundamental question, that how does certain companies get funding and others not? So I actually did a little bit of research and background checks. I'm not saying this is a solid science, but the feeling that I get, it's more, there are a set of founders who tend to be getting funding much more easily than people like us who really struggle to raise capital. The correlation I have found is that, the funding community is also functions like your old boys club, right? So if I have worked in Sequoia, I've worked in a big bank in a certain position, I know a few people, my path to getting funding is much easier than others. So you can't change that. You and I can't make any change to that. You have to live with that truth. My own boss from ICICI, he started his company in 2012 with $9 million funding from Sequoia, right? When he quit his job and when he started this, he was already the banking side, a big name. And at some point in time, he met up through working, met up with Sequoia team. So they shared the idea and that's all. So there is also a bit of luck required, but more than luck, I would say that this reach of network is critical for you to land up at a certain place at a certain point in time. Otherwise, okay, the other thing is that the percentage of people who really start funding, journey with a large funding is less than 5%, right? So 95% of all startups go through the rigmarole of struggling the first 2-3 years. And that's how most of us will actually do. The others are pure, being there at the right time at the right place. Now you might say that which is beneficial, which is, my dictum is that, look, I have no control in that process. So I stop bothering about that why am I not getting funding or why my journey is struggling more than the others. But look at it this way, that I have realized that the more you struggle in your journey to fundraise, the kind of insights which you develop about the industry and the product and the fitment which you're trying to do is phenomenal. Your own learning curve is so steep from there on that you will know the industry inside out, more than anybody else, more than the founders. As Indrajit said, that most of the investors will ask you 3-4 questions because for them, you are one of the 100 proposals on the table, right? And those 3 questions will basically help them in eliminating the 95 they don't want to talk to, right? They will only try and talk to that 5. Now, from an investor point of view, if you look at it, he is sitting with, let's say, $10 million. He's very fun. And if he's a single fund, if he's a fund with a lot of LPs, he's sitting with $50 million. His LPs will be looking at a ROI of 20-22% annually. His only consideration set in that decision making is that which is the startup I should fund where my probability of getting a 3x return in the next 2 years is highest. It's a simple benchmark they will do. Whether your idea is greatest idea or a bad idea, it doesn't make a difference to them. They're only looking at the system has become a little vicious. The way they are looking at is an early stage funder. His only horizon is the next 3 years. He knows that he has a set of other investors who will come in Series A, who they will hand it over to them at a certain valuation. Now that has become a cycle. Whether you want to go through that cycle or you choose to do a different path, it's a call you need to take as individual entrepreneurs. And there is nothing right or wrong in that. Either ways, you can make it good. That's what my experience shows.
Okay, one last question. I know we've exceeded time, but one last question, if anyone has, you can answer it.
Yeah,
I hope
so
Aditya
basically,
got...
Shyam here.
Go ahead.
So my question is to Mr. Indrajit. So I heard him telling that the investment equity is costly. So I would like to know in what context are we talking about? Like what way it is costly?
Okay, so purely look at it this way, that moment you touch a investment house, you will have a due diligence, you will have legal fees, you will have ROC fees. Total, when you combine it, it will easily be between 8 to 10%. Then the guy will tell you the core. I'm sorry, guys, they have been very nice. They didn't do anything. But moment you go to an investment house, they will say keep 10% for sweat equity, because if you don't give sweat equity, you are not going to get good people. All these are true. All these are true, right? But 10% gone, and they are not going to shell out their money. So when I went to Vami, they ensured that even Sarthi cohort is not into this that ESOP valuation. They said, no, these are pure investors, keep them out. Only equity people should be there. So who are the equity people? The 3-4 people, the first of us who took the money. So 10% gone there. 10% of the 8 to 10% of the fundraise gone there. And more importantly, until and unless you are kite flying, if you know your business is going to succeed, you are giving up your hard earned equity. So what will you do 5 years down the line? You went out of this, you hope maybe at some point you were working, you were an employee. From an employer, you became an entrepreneur. For what? To, at the end of 5 years, again start working for other people, effectively your investors. So that's why I'm saying it's the most costly bit of this thing. If you have guts in your business, if you see yaar 2 saal 3 saal ka wo hai, obviously you have to take equity, and equity also you should take because they will keep you on board. Girish phones me and I feel a little scared, yaar MRR nahi bana, isko kya bolenge? And that's very healthy for the business. I mean it only after the joke. It's very healthy for the business. Keeps you on your toes. If it's your own money, you can say today left arm is aching, tomorrow right tooth is aching, let me take rest today. When you have someone else's money, you run faster. But how do you balance it? Perhaps you need to see, can you put a little bit of debt? Can you take some money from your friends which you can give back? I have a different this thing on family, but a lot of business families take money from family. There's nothing wrong with that. I come from a Bengali background. We are all hardcore middle class people, so I did not want to upset the apple cart. So that's about it. You might have very good family, family backing. Leverage it, use it. Once you can hand on heart say, boss, business to banega. After that, it doesn't succeed. That's different. If you're not kite flying, take your people's money.
Thanks, Parag, Samrat, and Inder. It was a really enlightening session. I've recorded it and I'll be sharing it with others also. Really enlightening and very much value adding even for me. But I also learned a lot of things for me to execute. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you very much. Thanks, Girish.
Okay.
Thanks,
Bye.
Indrajit.
Lovely
Thanks,
insights. Thank you, team. It was really good. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Pleasure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing the information.
So yeah, actually we've overshot time and I had a 15-minute visualization exercise to be done. If everybody is okay, we can do it now. After a 2-3 minute break, we take a break till say 6:10 and then a 15-minute of visualization exercise, NLP visualization exercise. Yeah. Everybody good?
Yeah.
Just 3-minute break. Yeah. And then we'll be back by 6:10.
Sure.
Thanks. Bye.
டெஸ்க்டாப்ல அது ஒர்க் ஆகுதுல்ல ஃபயர்பாக்ஸ்ல அப்போ அது ஒர்க்கிங் ஃபைன்னு போட்டுட்டு அது கோட் பண்ணி ஓப்பன் பண்ணு. இது என்ன ஃபயர்பாக்ஸா? வெஜ்ஜா? இங்க சேஞ்ச் ஆனா இங்க அட்ரஸ் ஷாப் எல்லாம் வரதில்ல. பட் இதுல குரோம்ல மட்டும் அந்த மாதிரி ப்ராப்ளம் இருக்கு.
ஆனா அன்இன்ஸ்டால் பண்ணி இன்ஸ்டால் பண்ணி வரும்.
ஒர்க் ஆகுதா? நான் மொபைல்ல செக் பண்ணி பார்த்தேன், டெஸ்க்டாப் செக் பண்ண முடியல. கம்பெனில எல்லாம் லாக் பண்ணி வச்சிருக்காங்க, எதையுமே ஓபன் பண்ண முடியாது அவுட் சைடு. அப்ப அதுக்கு கோட் பண்ணி விட்டுரு, இட்ஸ் ஒர்க்கிங். இதுல போயிட்டு டைப்பிங்கா இல்லை அது என்ன போட்டிருக்கு select the location from auto selection from auto suggestion is working.
ஒர்க்கிங் ஃபைன் போட்டுருவோம் சார்.
இல்ல அது டெக்ஸ்ட் இருக்கட்டும், நாளை பின்ன அது வரலன்னு நினைச்சுக்கோ.
Yeah, so everyone just sit in a relaxed place, ideally with a backrest if possible, so that you are relaxed. Yeah. So just if you want to change positions, you can change, but sit in a place where you are relaxed. Yeah. We are going into a slight meditative journey. Keep your video on, keep your audio mute. So we'll be communicating through fingers. If you're understanding what I'm saying, you can do this. If you're not understanding, you can ask me to hold. So we'll communicate through fingers. Keep your audio off, video on. Yeah. Still, I'm finding a few videos off. So fine. So basically, we'll be doing a visualization exercise. I need 12 minutes of your time. After this exercise, you can not do anything for 10 minutes. Just stay with your feelings, your thoughts, your sensations. Yeah, just stay with them for the next 10 minutes post this exercise. It's a 15-minute exercise only. And it's around visualization. Yeah. So, yeah. So we can start. Everybody, we can start. Okay. Everybody is in a relaxed state. So just close your eyes. Slowly just close your eyes. Yeah. Great. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Just focus on your breath. See your breath going in and coming out. Breathe in. Breathe out. As you start focusing, you'll observe that your breath is slowing down slightly. Just observe your breath. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Keep your eyes closed. Just stay with my voice and just respond if I ask any questions. Otherwise, just focus on your breath. Breathe in. Breathe out. Try to get a slight smile on your face. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. So everybody set to start on the visualization journey. Just give me a hint with your fingers. All set? Don't open your eyes. Keep them closed. Yeah. Don't open it for the entire exercise. Try and not open your eyes. Yeah. Just keep them closed and focus on your breath. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. So we are going to let our imagination go wild, and we are going to imagine our startup as a baby. And I'm going to use the word she when I'm addressing your baby or my baby, because I also have a baby in my hand. Yeah. So can you imagine your startup as a baby? 1, 2, 3-year-old baby or a few month old baby. Can you imagine your startup as a baby? Yeah. Give it its name. Yeah. You've already given it a name. You can start addressing it. Are you able to see the startup as a baby in front of you? 1, 2, 3-year-old baby. Are you able to see it? Good, good. Just keep your eyes closed. Keep your eyes closed. Yeah. Keep your eyes closed so that just stay inside. There's nothing outside. Everything is inside. In this exercise, everything is inside. Yeah. So as you see your baby, some emotions might come in. You might want to touch it, you might want to feel it, you might want to see its texture. Are you able to feel your baby? Are you able to feel its texture? Are you able to sense it? Are you able to see it? Just indicate me with your thumb if it's yes, yeah, so that I'm communicating to you. Great. Now just state 5 features of your baby as you are seeing your baby Raptech, Steamified, as you are seeing your baby, my pets. Just state a few features aloud. I know you're mute, but just state it to yourself. Oh, what a cute baby. Oh, what a glowing hair. Just state a few features of your baby which you are able to see with your eyes closed. Yeah. Just state a few features for me. State it out loud. Yeah, as you state those features, some emotions would be coming into you. Just state those emotions also. I'm feeling happy. I'm feeling curious. I'm feeling slightly worried. Yeah, just state those emotions also about your baby as they're coming to you. State it out loud. Yeah, don't go to sleep. State it out loud. That's why I want to see your mouth moving also. State those emotions out loud. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now we are going to go ahead in time. 3 years, 4 years, 5 years ahead in time. You are seated in a relaxed manner in an armchair. Can you imagine? Can you see yourself in an armchair? The date is 13th of September 2025, 2026. You can see the calendar in front of you. It's evening 8:30 p.m. You can see the clock also in front of you. Yeah, it's showing a time of 6:20 p.m. Yeah. Can you see the clock? Can you see the calendar showing 13th of September 2025, 2026? Can you see it? And you are relaxed and it's time for your baby to come home. Your baby is normally home by this time. And you are eagerly waiting any moment she'll be home, and she's a grown-up now, she's working, and so it's been slightly late and she's not yet reached. So you are just, your eyes are on the door, your baby is going to come home. I'm using the word baby, but it's a grown-up baby now. So she's going to come home and your eyes are on the door. So just focus on your breath and keep your eyes on the door on the 13th of September, 2025, 2026. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. And the bell rings and the baby enters. And she's really excited. She's saying, oh, I've got really wonderful news and I wanted to share it with you. I tried to reach you, but I couldn't. It was a very busy day for me. And she has the Economic Times in front of her. And she's showing you the Economic Times headlines with a photo of you and her. And whatever you can imagine, IPO of Stodo or unicorn Raptech, or just imagine that Economic Times, and your baby really excited as she's sharing the news with you of the future which you had envisaged, which you had worked hard for, which you had dreamt of coming true. So can you see the paper? Can you see the Economic Times newspaper in your baby's hand, which is showing the news? Can you see that paper? Yeah, can you see that paper? Yeah. Okay, good, good. I'm happy to see many of you are able to see that paper, and it's getting you some emotions. Yeah. So say those emotions out loud. Yeah, I'm feeling. Say those emotions out loud. That I'm feeling happy, on top of the world. Say those emotions out loud as you are seeing the newspaper in your visualization. Say it out loud. I'm feeling I'm feeling. Put a smile on your face as you are imagining this. Put a smile on your face. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. But just repeat after me 3 times. This is my new truth. This is my new truth. This is my new truth. This is my new reality. Loudly, this is my new reality. This is my new reality. I am declaring it to be true. I am declaring it to be true. I am declaring it to be true. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Slowly, very slowly, you can open your eyes. If you want, you can rub your hands and touch your face. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. You can stay with these feelings for around 10 minutes. Yeah, thank you. Amar, Ankita and Anjan, can we connect after 10 minutes? Yeah.
Yes, sir. We can connect.
After 10 minutes, fine. Okay, thanks. Thank you, everyone. Bye. Bye.